Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakarkadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, a great millstone, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to y'all out there. And this is another news article in the news on this April the 5th, 2022, on this Tuesday afternoon. This is another sit-down lesson in the news. And this is from FinanceYahoo.com. And this is published on April the 5th, 2022 at 3:03 p.m. And the highlight of this news article from Yahoo Finance, and it reads, the stock market news live updates stock fall following remarks from Fed governor signaling tougher actions on inflation. It says the U.S. stocks flatter on Tuesday, dragging down by losses in tech as investors wait for remarks by Federal Reserve Governor Larry Brainerd that indicate policymakers were ready to act more aggressively to rein in the inflation. Investors also monitor reports indicating that the U.S. and European unions are expected to reveal more sanctions against Russia on Wednesday. And it says the S&P 500 stumbles 1.3%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average shed 280 points negative after climbing a 2-day straight trading session. The Nasdaq Composite plunged 2.3% to log its biggest drop in 3 weeks, and erasing the gain from a tech rally that helped the industrial pop of Monday. Meanwhile, the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield jumped to 2.56%. It's the highest since May of 2019. And it says the Brainerd, who is waiting a confirmation vote to serve in the central bank's number 2 role, said at a conference on Tuesday that the Fed can raise interest rates more aggressively to dampen the higher rate of inflation felt by Americans. Also, nothing it says Slovakia. It says also nothing that the officials will likely start shrinking assets holding in. It's about a month that could have the effects on further raising long-term interest rates. Currently, the inflation is too much high and is subject to upside risk, Brainerd said. The committee is prepared to make stronger action if indicators of inflation and inflation expectations indicates that such action is warranted. Investors to continue to monitor the war in Eastern Europe and waiting reports that the EU is expected to impose another round of sanctions against Russia. In a speech to the United Nations Security Council on Tuesday, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Russian troops of committing to the most terrible war crimes since World War II. The United States and Western allies are expecting to announce more Russian-related sanctions on Wednesday, Reuters reported, citing a source familiar with the matter. Tomorrow, the U.S. will announce in the coordination with the G7 and EU an additional sweep package of sanctions, measuring that it will impose a significant cost on Russia and send it further down the road of economic, financial, and technology isolation, the source told Reuters. On the economic, a Dutch bank became the first major bank to forecast a recession next year if the Federal Reserve hints the brake too hard on the economy. We no longer see the Fed achieving a soft landing, the Dutch bank economics wrote in a note. Instead of anticipating a more aggressive tightening and monitoring policy will push the economy into a recession. It says the warning came as investors close watched the portion of the Treasury yield curve that inverted last week, a phenomenon that has a historical predicting a recession. Each of the last 8 slowdowns dating back in 1969 were preceded by the yield curve inversion. A Numera chief U.S. economic Robert Dent told the Yahoo Finance Live on Monday that he see the potential for a mild recession ahead. We think the cumulative risk of a recession between now and the end of 2024 stands about 35% to 40%. He said a lot of that is just coming from what we think is going to be very aggressive response from the feds to actually get inflation under control and make sure the labor market actually cools down. And it says Twitter again inches higher on Tuesday despite broad-based losses in tech after the company said it will name Tesla CEO Elon Musk to its board one day after the electric vehicle executive revealed he purchased a 9.2% stake in the social media company. Musk, speaking about his money, he said that Twitter is unveiling the undervalued platform. The MKM partner told the Financial Live on Monday he sees there are things can do to improve, and he's hinting a more active role. Wedbush security analyst told Tesla bull Dan Aviz also told Financial he predicts we have an active stack on the social media platforms over the coming weeks or months, and that his recent snap up shares was it says starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time Monday, all 3 benchmarks closed lower following hawkish Brainerd comments. Here's how the stock closed out the trading session on Tuesday. The S&P 500 negative 57.31, which is a 1.25% to 4,523, and the Dow Jones, which I was reading through the article, it had like a 2-day gain. Now it fell back down to negative 279, which is a negative 0.80% to the 34,642.36 gain. And the Nasdaq, it fell off to negative 328, and approximately to negative 2.26 to 4,204.17 gain. So yeah, it says share semiconductor companies decline on their intraday trading, weighed down by a broad-based decline in technology stocks. The Philadelphia Stock Exchange of the semiconductor index fell as much as 4.1 to register the biggest intraday percentage decline nearly in a month. So yeah, this the stock exchange. So like I was mentioning, I did a lesson on this about 2 or 3 days ago. In regards to the potential of the global economic of effects, especially with the Russia, Ukraine current war crisis over there, current situation over there. Sometimes it has an effect on the global economy and the stock exchange over here in North America as well too. Then, I believe starting Tuesday and Wednesday, United States and its allies have a more fresh package deals of use more economic sanctions on Russia from an economic standpoint. I guess in regards to the gas production and the oil production and the economic production of money wise as well too. So then it's gonna have effect on European countries and globally as well too, and it makes effect on the United States as well too. And then you have on the market watch of that's why the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, they continue to plummet, and then they sometimes they have success rates gains, and then instead of other times they have like negative impacts, because that kind of furthers try to help boost the economy. And these federal reserves, the feds, they trying to pummel so much money into the economy and the Wall Street as well too. Because sometimes the economy can affect the Wall Street as well too, and the Wall Street can affect the economy because they put so much money in these stocks, markets, and bonds and stuff like that. It goes into the sales of the cryptocurrency and many other things that's relate to that stock market or for the economy as well too. And I'm gonna bring out the scripture for that. Of Babylon, from an economic standpoint. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen, and destroyed for her, and destroy a house for her, and take bond for her pain. If so be it, she may be healed. So it doesn't matter if United States come with these relief bills to help further the economy, to help further these local businesses, small businesses, and big businesses and everything like that, funding these schools for economic rescue relief and all that, and create more jobs and lower the unemployment rate and everything like this. But you're still dealing with hyperinflation. You know what I'm saying? You're still dealing with shortages, the cost of living, the cost of goods, and all that. You still got that continuing to rise as well too. So it still shows you the brink of the downfall of modern day Babylon, and we've seen it in many different categories of aspect of this, and that started with the gas prices going up, the continual of the hyperinflation, as the guy of from I believe from Wall Street. He was trying to make a statement that the Feds, the Federal Reserve, that does the Wall Streets and the Nasdaqs and the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. They try to further push to find ways to loosen the hyperinflation, which that affects a lot of Americans. Especially you go into these grocery stores or regular stores or whatever you do on your everyday day-to-day basis. With the high sales tax going up and the hyperinflation, with the cost of living, with the housing marketing and all that and such, for an examples. But I believe they might find the ways to try to soften the inflation. But how the way things are looking right now with the oil production of the gas prices going up, even though they had it a few weeks ago talking about they found ways to lower it down, but it's gonna further increase as we've been seeing through this whole year 2022 of the gas prices and the upper increase of hyperinflation and the cost of living and the potential of food shortages and everything like that, because it's gonna further increase, more and more and more especially, and every day we see these things in the news. So that shows you a continued potential downfall of Babylon the Great, and it's going to affect the global economy, and it's going to affect Eastern European countries as well too. That's allies with Russia. They share their oil production with these European countries as well too. As you currently see the current tensions over there in Russia-Ukraine situation. That kind of affect the European countries and other countries as well too. And Babylon the Great, which is according to the Holy Scriptures. So with that, I hope this quick sit-down lesson was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Barakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, a great millstone, preaching his word, truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Hakim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching his word, truthfully and sincerely. And it be like unto the speckled bird, preaching his word, truthfully and sincerely. And once again, shalom to the Hakim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching his word, truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and the ball.